this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to create an affiliate marketing blog with AI and how to make passive income, and what are the strategies that I have been using to get millions and millions of visitors to my websites in the past couple of years. So first, we're going to find and validate a niche or a topic for your blog. Then I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create a website from complete scratch without any coding experience, blogging experience, or website creation experience. Then I'm going to show you how to find epic blog post topic ideas and how to write epic blog post content that will rank on Google for years to come. And then I'm also going to show you how to monetize your blog through ads and affiliate marketing strategies. Now, every single tool and strategy in this video is free for you, but the only thing you need to pay for is the web hosting. So that will cost about a couple of bucks per month. And I have also left a link to all these tools that I'm using in this video, as well as to the resources that you're going to need to the description of this video. So make sure to check those out as well. Now, before you start your own website, we need to choose a niche for your site. So this is the main topic of your website. So it could be, for example, a tennis website, software review website, a crypto trading website, and whatever you can imagine. This is something we need to be careful with here, because in some niches there is easy ways to stand out and to get traffic and to start making money. But in some other niches where there's a lot of competition, it is very hard to stand out as a solo blogger, even if you're using AI. So here is the simple process you can use to find and validate your niche before starting your website. Now, in order for you to find the best niche possible, you need to strike a balance between passion, profitability, and competition. So there needs to be at least some desire for you to write about this topic, because you're going to work with this topic for a really long time. So you can't afford to choose a niche that you don't care about, because you will just burn out in the process. Then you need to make sure that there is profitability, that is, there are options for you to make money in that niche. And then you also need to make sure that there is not that much competition. So there needs to be a way for you to stand out. And next, I'm going to show you exactly how to find and validate niche based on passion, profitability, and competition. And I think the best way to do this is by starting with your passions and expertise. And don't worry if you don't have those, or if you don't feel like that you want to share information related to your hobbies or passions or etc. It is completely fine. We're going to add a lot of content into this list later in this section. But for now, it's good to start from your passions. Now, after you have listed things that you are good at, then think about niches that you have heard of, or some niches that you might find interesting. So for example, if there's a sport that you're interested in starting, or if there's an education field that you're interested in, or whatever it is, list those out into your list. Also, use ChatGPT to ask for 50 to 100 niches where there is profitability, but that is not too competitive. And after this step, you should have this super long and detailed list of all these potential niches and topics that you might want to cover with your website. And then it's time to start filtering that list. So we're going to make sure that every single niche makes sense, and that there is passion, and there is money to be made, and that there is not much competition. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So as the first step, go through the entire list and do this kind of a passion check. So just make sure that you include only those niches where you know that you want to write about those, and you have at least some desire or passion towards those, because you're going to work a lot on this website. So you don't want to choose a niche that you don't care about, because you're just going to burn out in the process. And as the next step, you want to do a YMYL check. So that YMYL stands for your money, your life. So you need to make sure that you're not targeting a niche that can directly impact on somebody's wealth or health. So you don't want to target something like investing or crypto trading or health, or anything where you would actually need to be a qualified expert, because that kind of content can be very risky for people. And also, Google is very careful with these kinds of niches, so it can be impossible for you to stand out if you don't have the proper education or experience to talk about that topic. So make sure to filter out all of those niches from the list. Then as the next step, when it comes to filtering the list of potential niches, is profitability. So you want to make sure that there is money to be made in every niche. And now let's not get paralyzed by analysis here. So basically, in every single niche, there is at least some money to be made. So if you get like 1 million visitors to your website and show advertisements, it doesn't really matter what the topic is, you will still earn a decent income. So you shouldn't overthink this phase. But one thing you want to make sure is that there are affiliate programs in your niche. So for instance, let's say that you're starting a website about tennis and you're not sure whether you want to choose that niche or not. So what you want to do is go out there, open up Google and search for tennis affiliate programs. And there you will find affiliate programs for rackets, for shoes, for bags, and all these kinds of other tennis apparel. So this is a good sign because this tells you that this niche has money to be made. Because if there are affiliate programs in your niche, that also means that there are people that are searching for information related to your niche and that they are reading blog posts after which they might make purchases. And I'm going to talk to you about affiliate marketing later in this video, but for now it's just enough to know that there needs to be affiliate programs in your niche, because this is a great blog monetization strategy that you're going to learn later in this guide. And if there are no affiliate programs in your niche, then you're not going to be able to earn through that strategy. And for most websites, that is one of the main strategies to make money. So you want to make sure that there are those affiliate programs. And by the way, one of my favorite niches is software. So you have these AI tools and AI products, and then you have this traditional kind of software. And basically to every single piece of software, there is some kind of an affiliate program, and they are paying really good commissions because software is basically free after it has been developed. So I have had success with software affiliate programs, and I make most of the money with software affiliate marketing. So I might get even $200 or $300 commissions for selling a piece of software to somebody. If you don't really care about the niche, choose software because that's one of the best niches out there. And then when it comes to competition, you should also filter out all these niches where there is simply too much competition for a one-person website to stand out in. And I'm going to show you 2 examples on how you can actually do this. So first and foremost, you can choose a niche and search for something relevant to that niche on Google. So for example, if you're considering launching a tennis website, you can search for something like how many sets in a game of tennis. And then you open up some of these search results, or basically all of these search results in the top 10. And for instance, let's say that we want to open up this My Tennis HQ, this second result right over here. If we now analyze this page, we can clearly see that this page is operated by these 2 fellows. So these are probably some tennis coaches, and these guys are clearly running this website, and they are just the 2 of these guys. So this is not a huge company that would have like 500 writers and they publish 2,000 blog posts every day. And if we actually search for or check the blog page or the sitemap page, we can actually see that there are quite a few blog posts, but this is not like a million blog posts. That's pretty much all there is on this site. So they have like 400 blog posts or such. So even if this kind of a small website has made its way to the top of the Google search results, that's always a good sign. So you basically want to see copies of yourself doing well in your niche. So if there are only huge websites such as like Forbes.com or some huge news websites or these highly reputable website at the top of the Google search results, then that might simply mean that there is simply too much competition for you to stand out in. And then another option is to use this all-in title operator. So you can figure out some of the central topics related to a particular niche. For example, in the AI software, I have searched for best AI music generators, and I have used this all-in title colon operator here on Google. So if I search for all-in title best AI music generators on Google, I'm going to see a number here which lists how many pages or blog posts there are related to this topic. So basically, these are all the pages and posts that have these words in their title. And if this number is in hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands, that is a good sign that there is not that much competition. But if this number is in like millions or tens of millions, that basically means that there is simply no room for you to stand out. So for instance, if you search for something like best t-shirts, you are going to see that there are almost 1 million results. So basically in this scenario, there is absolutely no way for you to rank with a blog post or a page that talks about best t-shirts. So these are 2 strategies you can use to filter out the competition. If there are these huge companies at the top of the search results with high quality, super detailed blog posts, then there is no chances for you to rank high for that key phrase or those kinds of topics. But then again, if you see like, for example, if you see Quora results or Reddit threads or these kinds of small websites, then that might suggest that there is not that much competition in your niche. And now, most importantly, please don't get stuck by this analysis phase here. So basically, there are always some reasons on every single niche why you shouldn't choose it. So don't overthink this phase. Just choose one niche and stick with it and start writing content. And that is the most important thing here, because if you choose a too competitive niche, you can always narrow it down. Or if you choose a niche that you don't really care about, you can learn from that experience and choose another niche. And if you choose a too narrow niche, you can always scale it up. And in basically all the niches out there, there's at least some money to be made. So even if you don't have those affiliate programs, or even if you don't have people searching for products related to that niche, you will still earn ad income. So don't take this as of this kind of an exact blueprint that you need to have these kind of certain attributes on your niche. Just use these previous steps that I laid down for you as a general guideline for maximizing the niche. The most important thing is to choose one niche and stick with it. And then let's continue to the next phase, where I will actually show you how to start a website from complete scratch without any experience in blogging, coding, or building websites. So now let me show you exactly how to start a website from complete scratch. And this is super cool because these days you don't need any technical skills. You're basically just going to submit this one form and pay for it, and they will get you the domain name and install the website behind it. So the journey begins at dreamhost.com. And by the way, you can choose any kind of web host that you want, but I'm going to use Dreamhost because it has provided me with good results in the past. So head over to the dreamhost.com and you're going to click this Get Started button right here. And then you're going to see these plans. We're going to go with the cheapest option out there. The only thing that we're interested in is that there is this WordPress installer and that we have this WordPress website builder option, because you want to make sure that you're going to actually get the WordPress website installed in that domain. So a blank domain name doesn't mean a thing. It's just an empty address. So if you just buy a domain, that does not mean that you have a website. You just have reserved a spot behind that address for a website in the future. So this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that the plan includes this WordPress thing so we can build a WordPress website. But nonetheless, let's click on the sign up now and then click on register a new domain. So now you need to check the availability of your domain name. And as you can see, for me, it says that it is available. Now I'm going to add it to the cart. And then the right-hand side shows the starter plan and what you're going to pay for. And one thing to make sure is that if you're not quite sure if you want to commit to this domain for an entire year, I highly recommend you checking out this or checking this monthly starter plan option, because then you're going to pay $5 per month, but you can cancel it anytime. Now, if you choose this yearly option, you're going to pay like the entire year at one go. So this monthly option is $5. But on top of that, you're also going to have to pay for this domain. So it is not just the hosting plan, but you also need to buy the domain. So you're essentially buying the address for your website and the hosting for that website, which kind of makes sense, you know. And then one thing to make sure is that don't choose any one of these that you see here. So this Dream Shield Protection, Dreamhost SEO Toolkit, these are all unnecessary. You don't need this. So you just want to pay for the hosting and for the domain. And then it's time to start filling in your details. Now, once you have signed up and once you have paid for your domain and your hosting, this is where it will lead you to. So now just click on Continue to your control panel. And now this is the dashboard of your Dream hosting account, and you're not going to visit this that often. So basically, you might just need it for now because we're just going to install the WordPress behind our domain. So as you can see here, we have this website that we just registered. So this is the aitechwits.com, and this is now our website. So if we now try to access this site, we would actually not see a thing because there is no WordPress installed behind that website. As you can see, when I clicked it, this site can't be reached. And now to install a website behind this domain so that you can actually access it and you can start creating on top of it, you can click on this left-hand side panel, this WordPress here. And then you can click on Install WordPress. And now this will quickly guide you through the entire process, but it basically just says that here's your new domain right here, and you can install the WordPress by clicking this button. It will also ask you some basic information. So for instance, here we have this blog option available. Because this is a blog, we can choose this one and click on Next. And then we're just going to click on install. Now this can take for a little while, so this can take easily 15 to 20 minutes. Now once the WordPress installation completes, you're automatically going to receive this kind of an email that tells you exactly how to log into your WordPress website for the first time, and how to reset your password and how to create an account. So now I'm going to click this link to set the password, and then I can just log into my account. So I can click here to log in. And now I'm just going to use the registered username that was registered me automatically in the email that I received, and then the password that I just set, and then I can click on login. Now this is the WordPress dashboard of your website. So it can be a bit daunting at first because you have all these little things here, but basically you're not going to need 95% of the items here. The most important thing here is that this is not your actual website, but this is the admin view. So this is where you actually create content and you do all these settings and you do all these things on your website. So if you want to visit your website for the first time, hover over here at the left top corner and click on visit site. And now this is your website. So if you now send a link to your website to somebody, they would see a website like this. Now let's start modifying this website. So as you can see, it has a bunch of stuff and it looks really cool. And this is already like a really nice website. But let's be real here. We're not offering any of these services here. So these are pretty much redundant. So we're going to actually get rid of all of this except for this part. So here we have this watch, read, and listen. And this lists our latest blog posts, and this is exactly what we actually want to have as our front page here. So we want to have these latest blog posts right here. So anyways, what you can do is click on edit site. Now, as you can see, this shows the editor of the website. And now if you click on one of these elements, you can start editing it. So you could change the text around, you could delete some parts of it, you could add some new elements into it. But what we're going to do for now is we're going to get rid of all of these elements. And if you like some parts of it, for example, if you like this one, and if you have some business in your mind, you can also fill in these, or you can add more of these elements into your website. But at this point, because we're just dealing with a blog, it actually makes sense to just delete all of this stuff here. And we're just going to show the most recent blog posts. And I'm going to show you how to add one in just a bit. But this is actually good for us, and we can actually just do like blog posts. And then we can hit on save. Now the WordPress website has been updated. And now if we visit this website right here, we can actually see that it just shows the blog posts. And this is more than enough for now. So we just want to show the blog posts for the visitor, and that's it, because this is essentially just a blog. And of course, we can also actually delete this one here. So alrighty, so as you can see, we're not quite there just yet, because this looks like a pretty random website. So it says that just another WordPress site, and then it has this sample page, and then it has all these kind of redundant or random pages here at the footer. So we're going to edit these step by step. So let's start by creating something very important, that is the about page and the contact page for your website. And if you want to do this, you can click on this. If you have been signed up, you can click on this new button and click on new page. Now this will show you the editor of your pages. So you can just ignore what it says here, because this is actually very intuitive to use, and you can click this one down here as well. So let's write about here. And then you need to type in something relevant to this one. So you can't just put in something random. You actually want to make sure that if somebody visits this website, you will let them know exactly why this website exists and why they want to continue visiting it. So you can talk about yourself, you can do some introduction here, you can talk about your content, and even showcase some other projects that you have had if you happen to have some. So for instance, you could do something like this. Hi, I'm Artturi Jalli, a full-time content creator, affiliate marketer, entrepreneur from Finland, and whatnot. So this is like a short introduction to your content and to yourself. And then once you are ready with this kind of an about page, then you can hit publish. And when you click on publish, you can copy the link from the top right corner or this right hand editor or whatever it is, and then you can edit this or hit this URL into your URL bar, and now you can actually visit the page. So as you can see, aitechwith1.com/about, and it shows the page that I just put out. And what's really cool about this is that now this automatically is added into this top right corner. So as you can see, it says about here. Now what you want to do is also create another page to the contact page of your website. So there needs to be a way for your audience to contact you easily. So this is something that makes you stand out, and this is something that helps you with rankings on Google, because then Google can see that this is actually a trustworthy and valuable website. So you also want to add contact, and then just do something like, you can contact me at any time at, and then just enter your email here. Something like this, and you can even bold it if you want to make it more convenient, and you can even add it as like this kind of a link by clicking this button. So if somebody clicks on this, they can directly send you an email, so they don't have to copy paste it from here. But nonetheless, this is the contact page. It doesn't have to be anything more technical than this, and just hit on publish again. And then once we're visiting the website, we're actually going to see that the contact page is here as well. So now you have this about and contact pages here at the top right corner. So this is very convenient for the visitor. They can click on this. But now you want to get rid of this sample page right here. And this sample page is basically just something that WordPress automatically generated for you, just to add it there, just so that you can see that it is an option to add these pages right here. So now we can delete it. And the simplest way to do this is by just heading over to this left-hand corner and clicking on the WordPress icon, and then clicking on pages, and then clicking on trash on this sample page. And now that is basically gone. And now if we visit the website, we're actually going to see that there's the about and contact information right here. Next, let's get rid of this just another WordPress website, and let's override it with something more relevant. So this could be, for example, your website's name. So for example, we can just copy this, and we can click edit site, and then click on this just another website and paste it here. You can do something like aitechwits.com. And if you have a logo, you can also add it here. And I can actually show you how to create one, but let's first save this and see that it actually worked. So now if we visit the website, we can see that it says aitechwits.com. Now, if you want to create a logo for your website, it is by no means not a mandatory step at this point, but you can do it from Canva. So you can just go to canva.com and create a blank logo. And then what I typically do when I create a new website, I'm very lazy when it comes to the design, because at this point, design doesn't really matter. It matters for sure in the future, but it doesn't really make sense to spend more time on this, because at this point, there is nobody visiting your website just yet. So you need to create content and attract people that way. So I can actually do something very simple. So I can change the color of this logo, and then I can add some text. Let's say, for example, let's put in AI Tech With. So let's do AI Tech With. So let's do like this kind of an abbreviation or shorthand for this. I'm going to do italics. Going to use Anton as the logo or as the font. And I'm going to place this right here, and this is my logo for now. So I'm going to share it. I'm going to download it, and then we can go to the website right here. We can click on this button. We can actually drag and drop this right here, and now you can see that the AI Tech Width went right over there, and you can resize it based on what you prefer. I like to keep it as small as possible, but nonetheless, this is your logo. It was created in 15 seconds. This will do for now. We can click on save. And once you visit the website, you're actually going to see that the site has a logo right here. So this is pretty cool. Now, what we will do next is we want to change the author name of your user. So for example, this is the sample blog post that was created by me, or wasn't created by me, but was created for me automatically when I installed WordPress on DreamHost. So as you can see, this is just sample blog post. It says, hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post, edit or delete it, and then start writing. And as you can see, the default category is uncategorized, and the username is something very strange looking. So you want to change both of these. So first and foremost, let's change the uncategorized name. So we can go to the left corner here. We're going to click on posts and categories, and then we're going to see this uncategorized right here. So we can click on quick edit and we can call it something else. So for example, let's just call it AI because this website is going to be about AI. And then we can also set the slug to be AI. So one can access this by typing in your domain name /category/AI instead of uncategorized. And now if we visit the site again, we can actually see that this blog post is published in the AI category. And this is really cool. And if I now click on this, I'm going to see all the AI category blog posts, and there is just one because there's just one blog post. But then let's also change the name of my account. So as you can see, this is myself, but it doesn't resemble a name because it's this automatically generated name. So I want to get rid of that as well. And to do that, I can also go to the left-hand side to the WordPress editor or the WordPress dashboard, and then I'm going to click on users, all users, and then I'm also going to click on edit. So this is the user that you saw on the front page. I'm going to click on edit. You can do also all these kinds of settings, what you want, but I am just going to set the nickname to something more descriptive. So I'm going to say Artturi Jalli. And then I'm also going to choose this Artturi Jalli from display name publicly as Artturi Jalli. Then my email is there, and then my site is, everything is good. And then click on update profile. And now if we visit the website, we can actually see that the blog post by right here is written by Artturi Jalli and it's in the AI category. Then the next thing what you want to do is you want to actually change the footer. So as you can see, now we have the logo and everything else is looking pretty decent, but the footer is not there yet. So we can actually change this. We want to delete all this useless stuff in the footer. So we can click on edit site, then hover or scroll down to this footer section and then click on it. So then what we want to do is we want to actually add the about and contact pages here as well. So we can click on this plus icon. We're going to add page. And it automatically adds this about and contact pages right here because we added this page list over here. And then we can delete all these other elements here. And now let's hit save, and now the website is pretty much all good. So if we now visit the website, it actually should look pretty decent. So yes, this is very basic right now because we don't have any blog posts here. So this looks very bare bones, but now the website has a logo, it has the name, it has an about and a contact page, and then it also has the about and contact pages right here. Then next up, let's do some practical changes on the website that make it more convenient for the users to use and then make it more convenient for you to administrate as well. So first and foremost, let's click on this blog post on the front page. So if we scroll down, there is this automatically left comment by this WordPress. And what I basically want to do usually is that I just disable all comments because there is so much spam and so much garbage that it's just easier to disable your comments altogether. So to get rid of these comments, you can just click on edit site. Then this shows you the kind of template that you're using with your blog posts. And you can just click on this comment section right here. I think you can actually select the whole box here, and then you can click on delete. And now there is no way for you to show comments in your blog posts. So this is great. Now you don't have to worry about spam. And then one thing you definitely want to do with your blog post is make the URLs as short as possible. So you want to make it as convenient as possible for somebody to jump to your blog post. So for instance, if somebody shares your blog post on WhatsApp group or Facebook or whatever, you want the link to be appealing. So this doesn't quite do that. So now it says that /2024 02 23 and then the name of the blog post. What you would like to do instead is just to have the name of the blog post and don't have this date. And you can do this very easily by going to the left-hand side to the WordPress dashboard and then clicking on settings and clicking on permalinks. And now what you can do here is choose the permalink structure that says post name and then click on save changes. And now if we head over to the front page and click on this WordPress blog post example, we're actually going to see that now it just says aitechwith1.com/hello world. So this is perfect. Now the blog posts are also configured to be as short as possible when it comes to this URL slug. So now that you have this bare bones version of your website, it is time to start creating content on it. So that is the most work intensive and the most crucial point in creating a website like this. So basically anybody can start a website these days. And as you can see, it only took like 30 minutes to put together this kind of a simple web page. But now, if you want to get any visitors, you need to write blog posts on it that rank high on Google. And now I'm just going to show you an example of writing a blog post. This is not a high quality blog post, but I'm just going to show it to you just so that you know how it actually works. So if you want to write a new blog post, you just need to be signed up to your website and then click on new post. And then this will open up the blog post editor of your website. And you can actually get rid of this bottom thingy right here. So all you really need to do is start writing content. So you can give it a title. For example, I can just do something like, what is AI? And then I can paste text here. So for example, well, this is something that I just quickly whipped up with ChatGPT. But this is now the first blog post that you're going to publish. Of course, you want to do some editing. You want to actually write a quality piece of content and you want to pour in your unique thoughts and insights. So it's not just enough for you to just go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a blog post. But now I'm just going to do it for the sake of simplicity here. So this is a ChatGPT written blog post. Now, if you want to add an image to this, or if you want to add images to your blog post, you can go to unsplash.com and you can search for something. For example, I have searched for AI right here. Then you can just click on this to download. And you can click on these credits here. And then you can basically just drag and drop the image somewhere here. So for instance, you can drag and drop it right here. And once the image loads, you can also add the credits to it as the caption. So you copied this from the Unsplash website. And now you have an image in your blog post. And then you can also do some basic stuff. So you can just, for example, if you want to highlight this first word, you can just click on the bolding here, or you can do italics over here. So this is the top bar that allows you to do stuff like that. And that's pretty much it when it comes to like creating this kind of a blog post. Also, if you want to leave a link to somewhere, you can highlight a section and then just hit Command V or Control V based on what system you're using, and it will link to that place. So for instance, let's do something like this just for the sake of simplicity. And then you can click on Open Link in New Tab if you want the people to not exit your website when they are clicking these links. So then you can save draft by clicking here, and then you can click on the top right corner and preview in New Tab. So this is what the blog post will look like right now if you published it. This narrow screen size makes it readable, and the formatting looks really nice. And as you can see, it's pretty much a ready blog post. So we can just hit publish. But one more thing we want to do is we want to click on this right-hand corner, this post button here, and we can scroll down here to the featured image section, and then we can set featured image. And for example, we can use the media library or just drag and drop a new image. But for example, I'm using this image that I dropped here, and then I'm going to hit publish. And now this blog post is automatically added to the blog post section in the website. So for example, if we now visit the website, we're going to see this blog post, this what is AI, it is right here. And this is going to rack up the more blog posts you write. And if somebody visits your front page, they can just choose one of these blog posts that you have produced. So if I now click on this, I'm going to see this blog post that I just wrote. That's basically it. Of course, if you want to like get rid of this featured image, you can click on edit site and delete it the way I did with all the other elements on the website. But I think it looks decent, although I could place this one later down the line in this blog post so that it just doesn't repeat it right here. But this is how you publish blog posts on your WordPress website. So it's very basic. It is like using like a Word document. So you can do bolding, you can leave links, you can do these subheadings and headings, you can add images, and that's pretty much it when it comes to writing blog posts. So now you have a fully functional website, you have your about and contact pages so that people can contact you, and then you have this front page where you have a logo, you have this website, and then you have these blog posts. And this is enough. And now it is time to start writing blog content to this website to rank on Google and to get visitors to your website passively and to start making money. So the most important thing you want to do is to get traffic to your website or to your blog. And the only way to do this is by writing blog posts that rank high on Google for specific searches that people perform on Google and other search engines. So for instance, if you had a blog about fitness or weight loss, you could have a blog post such as how to lose weight. And then you would need to make that blog post so good that Google trusts it and ranks it high in the search results, and this way you would get a lot of traffic. Now, to rank on Google, you need basically two things. You need a ton of blog posts and you need Google's trust. So it's not just enough to write one single blog post or even 10 blog posts and expect Google to rank those high in the search results. That's not how it works. It's completely different on other platforms. So for instance, on TikTok or on YouTube, your very first video might go viral and you would get a ton of visitors to it. And that's basically not a very rare thing to even happen. So you see those channels all the time. But on Google, things work quite differently. So your very first blog post will never ever rank high on Google search results, and that's just the name of the game. And this is simply because Google doesn't trust your website. So for instance, if you wanted to rank for something like how to lose weight, Google would have to be able to trust you and your content enough to rank it high in the search results. And the only way to build trust is by showcasing your experience and expertise with your blog posts. In other words, you need a ton of content. You don't need to be an expert or you don't need to be an experienced writer, but you just need to cover your niche in its entirety. So you need to write every single blog post in your niche if you want Google to trust your website. And then you might start seeing those individual blog posts ranking high in the search results. And unfortunately, this is something that many tutorials don't mention. So you need to treat your blog like this kind of a one-of-a-kind resource where somebody can find everything related to their topic. So you need to cover absolutely everything in your website. And this is basically like a business. You need to become the best resource about that topic on the internet if you want to have any chances to rank on Google. And this is why it takes so long time. But this also makes it sound a bit harder than what it actually is, because to be honest, most of the content on the internet is not that great, and most of the websites don't cover their corresponding niches very good. So it is actually surprisingly easy to become one of the top authorities in your space if you put in the time and effort. And in this video, I will show you the strategies and tactics you can actually use to do that. But it's not actually that hard what it sounds. You might think that you might spend like 1 week per blog post, but usually you can get very good results in just a couple of hours because most of the content on the internet has been put together by freelancers at a very cheap cost in just an hour or two, or even by AI automatically. So it's actually relatively easy to stand out if you're ready to put in the hours. Now, the main thing with a blog post is that you can't just go ahead and write a random blog post that solves a random problem or an imaginary problem that doesn't even exist. So instead, what you want to do is solve a real problem or a real pain point in your niche and make sure that there are tons of people looking for that information when they're doing Google searches. And this is exactly why you don't want to write blog posts about yourself. So you don't want to talk about how you went fishing last night or how you had a dinner last night. That's simply some stuff that people don't really care anymore because people read blog posts only to find useful information and to help their purchase decisions and such. They're not looking for blogs for entertainment anymore. That's why TikTok and YouTube exist. So to put it together, you need to write a ton of blog posts that solve problems for people that are doing searches on search engines like Google. And you need to write a lot of blog posts simply because Google needs to trust your website, and you need to create this kind of a website that actually covers the entire niche and that shows the visitor and that shows Google that you know exactly what you're talking about, and you show to Google that they should recommend your content because it covers everything related to that niche. Now, this is a tall task and requires a ton of hard work, But thanks to the latest developments of AI, you can speed up some parts of the process and make it very easy for beginners, for example, to get started. Now, before I show you how to choose your blog post topics and how to write those blog posts and make money with those, I'm quickly going to talk to you about the content strategies. So before you write blog posts, you need a simple strategy that you want to follow. So in every niche, there are these key concepts or key topics. So for instance, if your blog is about golf, your main topics could be something like golf clubs, golf rules, shot selection, and whatever. So those are the core, basically these main topics that laid the foundation to the entire sport or the entire niche. These are also the topics you should write your blog posts about first, because those are the foundations of your blog as well. So you want to lay down these kind of pillar posts at first, if you will. And one great reason why you want to start with these main topics is simply because, as if you were building a house, it is wise to start from the basics or the foundation because it is easier to build on top of that. So first and foremost, if you're not familiar with the topic that you're writing about, it is very good starting point to cover the basics first, because there you will also learn a lot about your industry, and that makes the future blog posts better because you can actually pour in your unique takes and thoughts instead of relying on AI or just by doing research. And also, when you're writing these smaller blog posts or these more specific posts later down the line, you can also link to these pillar posts. So if you, for example, have that golf website, if you think about it, you will basically refer to golf clubs or golf rules in almost every single blog post in one way or another. And now that's a really great chance for you to keep the visitor longer on your website while being actually useful and showing them that you know what you're talking about by having links to these pillar posts that they can then read if they're more interested in that core concept. After you have covered all these key concepts and core principles of your niche, then it's time to jump into the supporting content. So these can be a bit shorter and still very detailed and comprehensive blog posts about some more specific topics in your niche. And usually there are hundreds and hundreds of these, and this is the time-consuming task. So you want to answer every single question there is about your topic on the entire internet. So for instance, if we take this golfing blog as our example, so one of the pillar posts could be something like, let's say, golf rules. But one of these more specific supporting blog posts could be something like golf rules about out of bounds. So that's already a bit more narrowed down specific topic that people might search for. And then once you have written and once you are writing these supporting blog posts and more specific topics, you always want to make sure that you link them to other useful resources on your website. So for instance, you should basically always link to one of these pillar posts, because basically every topic or every subtopic in your niche is usually somehow related to one of these pillar concepts. So this way you're going to show the visitor that you have actually a ton of content around that topic and that you know what you're talking about and that this website is actually what they're looking for and they should stick around and read further articles. And at the end of the day, your blog should almost form this kind of a link tree where you have these pillar posts, and then all these little or smaller specific posts are linking to these pillar posts. So this would form this kind of a nice tree structure and a uniform content structure where everything is linked together some way or another. And please keep in mind that this is not exact science. So if you think about Google search results and how people visit your website, they search for something on Google and then they see this blog post and then they click on it and they jump on it and then they might already jump back. So they don't care one bit when it has been published or whether the content on your website has been published in a chronological order. So in that sense, it doesn't really matter if you start from the specifics and then write the pillar posts at the end of your blogging streak. So that doesn't actually matter in the eyes of your audience or in the eyes of Google. But in terms of optimizing your traffic and optimizing your learnings and optimizing your workflow, I highly recommend you writing these pillar posts first and then talking more about those specifics. But how on earth do you find these blog post topics and how can you identify these pillar topics to write about first? Well, let me show you exactly how to do that. And by the way, this is a step that is basically fully automated with AI. So first and foremost, One of my favorite strategies, if not the favorite one, is just by opening up Google and using their AI to find these suggested topics. So for instance, let's say that we have a website about tennis. So what we can do is open up Google in an incognito mode so that your history doesn't impact your search results. And then we're just going to type in tennis, how to. And here you're going to see tennis, how to play, how to serve, how to watch, how to win, how to score. And basically these are topics that people are searching for. And this Google AI right here is suggesting these topics based on what is, in their opinion, the most likely search result that you're after when you have typed in tennis, how to. In other words, these are topics that people are searching for in masses. And in other words, that means that these are great blog post topics. Now, if you have seen any other tutorials on blogging or search engines, you might have seen these super expensive tools what they use to find blog post topic ideas. But those are a complete waste of time because first and foremost, those are using data that is basically just a prediction because nobody knows how many times a search occurs on Google. Those tools are just estimating and they are giving you numbers that are off by miles. So for instance, once I wrote a blog post about a topic that a tool like that suggested has 0 searches per month, but that blog post still ended up getting 2,000 visitors per month. So you don't want to use those, just use Google because it's free, it's easier, and it gives you the best results. And trust me in this one, I have never ever used those paid tools and they have never benefited me when I have built my websites. Now these Google suggestions just list some random blog post topics in your niche. And yes, these are super important and at the end of the day you want to write about every one of these. But if you want to find these pillar post topic ideas, you can also use ChatGPT to your advantage. So just tell ChatGPT that you have started a blog about something and then ask it to list the pillar post topic ideas for your blog so that you can start covering your niche. So for instance, here I've asked ChatGPT to list down these pillar post topics about tennis. And as you can see, it says history of tennis, understanding the rules, Grand Slam tournaments, equipment essentials, techniques, tennis strategies, physical conditioning, mental game, iconic players, tennis etiquette, tennis technology, how to follow professional tennis, and whatnot. So you get a list of all of these, like most important concepts and principles and whatever it is related to your niche. And these are a good starting point. So after, let's say that you have started a tennis blog, after you have written these 15 or 10 blog posts that ChatGPT lists down here, you basically know everything about tennis because this takes a long time and this actually requires some hard work. But after this, it is super easy to start answering those more specific questions related to tennis because now you know what you are writing about and now you know what people are interested in and now you have gained some confidence and knowledge about your niche. So if you have started a blog about something you are not familiar with, this is also like a learning experience. So during this time, you're doing a lot of research, you're making sure that you make sense, that the information is correct and whatnot. So this is like the learning phase of your blogging career. So at the end of the day, you want to become this kind of an expert and knowledgeable person about your topic. So at this point, it is completely fine if you don't know anything about your niche. But during this phase, you're writing the key concepts and the key blog posts to your website while you're also learning about that topic. So this is a really efficient strategy for building blogs. And then one more super useful strategy you can use to find epic blog post topic ideas is simply by stalking your competitors. So for instance, in the tennis space, this My Tennis HQ is one of the more known or most popular websites around this niche. And basically what I can just do here is I can head over to this website and I can start seeing what kind of content they have produced. And somewhere usually you have this kind of a sitemap or blog archives page where you can see all the blog posts in one page. And here we, for example, have one. If we scroll down a bit further in this My Tennis HQ website, so here it says sitemap. So if we click this open, we can see every single page and blog post that lives on this website. And yes, if you didn't guess it already, if you want to become the better version of this website, you should cover every single topic that is listed here, but in a better way than what already exists. So you can then open up these blog posts and see what kind of content they have produced about this topic. As you can see, for example, here you don't have that many images, you just have this wall of text. So this is very easy to outperform in search results. You can add some visualizations and pour in your unique thoughts and experiences and whatever it is. But that's the name of the game. So you want to stalk your competitors and basically just make sure that you cover everything that they have covered, but make it a bit better than what they have done. So this is like any other business. If you want to succeed, if you want to have results, you want to be the best resource or the best product out there. And this is one of my favorite strategies. So you can use those Google suggestions, you can use ChatGPT, but by stalking your competitors and stealing their topics, you're going to get great results. So all in all, when you're looking for blog post topics, you need to make sure that every single blog post topic answers a specific question or solves a specific problem in your niche. And the only way to do this is by using data and AI to find these topics that people are searching for online. So you can use Google suggestions, you can use ChatGPT, and then you can also use your competitor sitemaps and blog archive pages to find out all these topics that you want to write about. And you can collect this super long list of blog posts if you want, but what I at least do is that usually I just come to the office and then I open up Google, type in something, and then choose a topic from those suggestions. So whatever works fine, the best way for you, that is what you should do. But nonetheless, those are the strategies you can use to find epic blog post topic ideas that actually will get reads. And now it is finally time to start writing out these blog posts. So this is the most time-consuming task. And you can automate some parts of it. For example, I use AI all the time when I write, but it is not going to automate the entire process. You must do the work and you must put in the hours and do the research, create these kind of visualizations and put in the time to actually make it stand out. So if you think about a random topic, there is always 100 or 1000 or however many blog posts that have been put together by these cheap freelancers or by AI in just seconds. So if you write just another blog post like that, Google will basically randomly pick one of those and then rank it somewhere in the search results. It is never going to get to the top of the search results because there are better alternatives to those AI written blog posts, but it will get somewhere. Nonetheless, the point here is that this is not a good strategy if you want to rank high, because if you want to get any traffic to your website, you need to rank in the top 10 or in the top 5 of the search results. And if there are thousands of competing pages that have all been put together with AI, there is basically no chance for you to outshine those if you just write just another blog post about that topic. So that is something super important to keep in mind. So this is not the part where we automate everything, where we write 50 blog posts in a minute using AI. Unfortunately, that does not work. It is never going to work, and the more time goes by, the less and less that kind of a strategy could work, because all the time there are millions and millions of websites that are doing exactly that on every single niche. So if you now go ahead and write automatically a blog post with AI, it will never ever rank on Google and get any significant traffic. Now, first and foremost, when you're writing blog posts, you need to keep in mind accessibility. And you need to basically take care of every single people in your audience. So there are busy people that only have 10 seconds of their time to read your blog post. And then there are these people that will spend 30 minutes if they need to. And to do this, your blog post should be short form and long form at the same time. So you should have a short answer at the beginning of each blog post, and then you should have a long form answer that follows it. So this way you're taking into account every single audience member. And I'm going to show you an example of this. So this is a blog post I wrote just a bit less than a year ago. And the topic is, what is a blog? And as you can see, this blog post has an answer to what is a blog. And this is like 100 words or so. And somebody can read this in like 15 seconds. And then after this, I start to pour in my unique takes and experience and expertise of running my blog. So here I am giving like the complete idea of what is a blog. And I think that this blog post is like at least 2,000 to 3,000 words in length. So this is something that somebody who is more interested in blogging and perhaps even want to start their own blog, they can read this thing entirely from start to finish. And this takes like at least 20 minutes to read with care. So this is the idea here. You want to provide, in every single blog post, you want to provide this kind of a short answer to the reader's question, and then you can give this kind of a detailed breakdown of where you cover basically every single thing about that topic and even cover some related topics there as well. And now, how on earth do you write one of these 3,000 word blog posts? Well, it's actually easier if you split the task into smaller subtasks. In other words, you want to write a comprehensive outline for your blog post at first, because instead of writing one single huge blog post, if you split it into, let's say, 15 outline subsections, you're going to write 15 smaller sub-blog posts. And this makes the task so much easier. And to do this, you can use ChatGPT, for example. Here I'm showing how to use ChatGPT to write a blog post about Bose headsets. So I'm basically just asking ChatGPT to create this kind of an outline with which I leave absolutely no stones unturned about this Bose headset. And I'm telling ChatGPT that I want this review to be the best and the most comprehensive piece of content that ranks high on Google. And here the ChatGPT goes. So it is providing me with this very good and very comprehensive outline for my blog post. And as you can see, it starts with the introduction, then it's mixing in some history. Well, this is not something that is interesting, so you always need to keep in mind the audience. You probably don't want to talk about history that much at the beginning of your blog post. But nonetheless, most of the stuff here is very good. Understanding sound technology, in-depth reviews, and user guide. Then you're going to show how to use the headset, real-world use cases, and comparison and contrast. So if you have used other headsets in the past, you can compare this one to those. And then buying guide, so you can find different prices from different product pages, and then you can perhaps even consider the future. Well, some of this stuff is actually way too in-depth, so you don't literally need to dig deeper into the Bose documentations and business plan and roadmap and introduce their stuff. No, that's not how it works. But you just want to put together this blog post that basically covers everything that might be related or relevant to the audience. So if you're, for example, reviewing a headset, you just want to show every single use case and every single feature of that headset, and then give your own take to that, and preferably compare it to some other product. So this is just one example, but as you can see with ChatGPT, you can you can get things done very nicely. So this is actually a really good blog post template or a blog post outline, and you can remove some parts of it just to make sure that it's not too in-depth and it's not relevant to the audience anymore. But nonetheless, this is how you can write blog post outlines. And after writing the outline, then it's time to start writing these outline talking points. And then when it comes to writing these outline talking points, you can use AI to automate the initial draft of your blog post. So you can basically just take these outline sections that the ChatGPT laid down for you, and then ask ChatGPT to write a comprehensive blog post section about that subtopic. And that is a great starting point. Of course, if you know about your niche, you shouldn't do that. You should write it yourself. But if you don't know that much about your niche, or if you're not that good of a writer just yet, then for sure use ChatGPT. But then the human edits is the most important part, what actually makes the blog post stand out and what makes it not just another blog post about that topic. Now let me show you a concrete example of myself editing one of these ChatGPT written blog posts and how I can actually take them to a completely different level and how they end up not being just another blog post about that topic. So here you can see I have asked ChatGPT to write a simple blog post on how to create a logo using Canva. And here's the blog post. It has a link to Canva's website, and here you have these nice little steps that you should follow in order to pull this off. Now let me take this ChatGPT written blog post and make edits to it just to make it stand out. And by the way, I'm going to use the medium.com blog post editor because it's much more convenient to use for this kind of a filming or demonstrating purpose. So don't worry, you would do this on your WordPress editor on your website, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm using Medium for now. The important part is just to notice what I'm doing to make the blog post actually better. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to add some separation here. So I noticed that this is a bit longer, this introduction, so I'm going to hit enter right over here. And then I'm also going to separate this last sentence and I'm going to bold it. So there's nothing too specific there. I just wanted to make it sure that it looks nice on a mobile device so it doesn't have this kind of a wall of text. Now, then the next problem that I notice is that you have all these steps here, but you don't really have images that support the learning here. So what you should do is you should actually complete each and every single one of these steps. And that is exactly what I did. So I signed up to Canva and I actually did all of these steps that ChatGPT told me to do. So first and foremost, I'm going to direct the visitor to sign up to Canva and I'm going to show how I did it. Here I have now added a screenshot of the front page of Canva, as you can see. Then I have added an arrow to the sign up page. And then I'm also going to drag and drop another image where I am showing how to use the sign up form. So basically you just choose one of these options. Now it's already looking a bit nicer because you actually have these screenshots and these images that actually support the learning. So it's not just ChatGPT written content, but it's actually useful content that shows what you should do. Then I'm talking about choosing a logo template. So of course, this is also something that I need to be able to demonstrate to my audience. So I'm going to drag and drop another image here. And here I'm showing that as this ChatGPT is saying, I'm showing that I'm searching for logo, and then I am choosing the logo from this drop down. And then in the next step, it says that I need to choose a template. So of course, I'm going to also show an image of myself choosing the template. As you can see, I'm showing the visitor that I'm not going with this coconut template. And then you can start editing the content. And then ChatGPT tells me to customize the logo. This is really cool. Now comes the fun part, customization. And here you can see all these options, what ChatGPT is telling me. So now these are just bulleted lists or bulleted elements, but these don't really help the visitor unless I actually show how to do this. So I'm actually going to take these ones out of the bulleted list form. And now I'm going to add an image in every section right here to support the learning and support the understanding and to actually show how it's done. And now my logo tutorial starts to be there already. So this is me showing how to sign up and how to choose the template and how to edit it with some basic controls. Now I'm using this next step or doing this next step where ChatGPT tells me to download the logo. And here I have actually spotted a mistake already. So it says that once you're satisfied with your design, you need to click the download button on the top right corner of the screen. But if we actually look at the Canva website, we are actually going to see that there is no such button as download. So you need to click share and then you need to click download. So I should actually change this text to click on the share button at the top right corner and then click download. This is now the correct way to do it. So this way you can already see that ChatGPT did a little mistake here. So you need to make always sure that every fact is straight and that the tutorial is actually teaching the right information and that there are no mistakes in the text. So this is the time-consuming part. So you need to make sure that ChatGPT nailed the facts. And then it tells me that Canva offers various file formats. So I'm also going to demonstrate that by downloading this piece of art in the PNG format. And what's a better way to do that than by showing an image of myself doing it? So here, as the text suggests, I'm using this PNG format and I'm downloading the image. And then everything is basically obvious from this point. So use your logo, you can put it on your website. And then here are some tips. You can use some bolding here if you like. This is what I always like to do. So if I have a bulleted list, I'm going to bold the first words just to make it stand out. So now if you look at this blog post, it's already a much greater piece of content because I'm showing every step of the way and I'm actually verifying that this is indeed how it works. And this is how you write blog posts with ChatGPT. So for instance, let's count the words here. If we take a look, this blog post has about 500 words. So I was basically able to write this blog post entirely with ChatGPT, and 500 words probably takes at least 15 or even 20 minutes to write if you're a new writer. And this saved me 20 minutes right here. Of course, then I had to use the ChatGPT or the Canva templates and do some customization and whatnot, but still this saved me 20 minutes of writing. So this is pretty amazing. And this is how you should write your content. So this is how you really do it. You write with ChatGPT, you learn along the way, you check your facts, and then you also add these useful images. So these images are what makes blog posts stand out. So if you just publish a blog post like this, even if you checked all the facts and added some links here, and even if it was a really good piece of content, it will basically never rank on Google because nobody wants to read a wall of text like this. People always want to see these images that support the learning. And if you want to take it to the next level, if you want to stand out from the masses, you have to do it this way. So you need to add images, visualizations, illustrations, and whatnot. Now, speaking of blog post images, if you don't have those images yourself, or if you can't really take them, or if you can't do any visualizations or illustrations, then you can always resort to using either AI or free stock image libraries. But one thing to keep in mind though is that these images that don't directly help the visitor understand your point better, those are not really that useful. So for example, if you have a golf blog and you're teaching how to do a chip shot, and then you generate an image with AI that shows a person driving a golf cart, that is not helping one bit, and the visitors will just go away. So you want to be able to prove or provide value to your audience with these images. And basically the only reason I would use stock footage or AI generated images in my blog posts is if there is not really a great place for an image in your blog post. So if it's just some like text-based content where you don't really need images, you still want to add some images into the mix just to break down the text nicely so that it doesn't look like a boring wall of text. So that is basically the only scenario where I would use stock images or AI generated images. And by the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can find a free stock image library at unsplash.com. Or if you want to use AI images and you don't have ChatGPT premium subscription, then you can use a tool like Ideogram that will generate those images for you for free. But just use those if you don't have any other options and if your text doesn't really need images, but you still want to make it look nicer. Now there is one tool you have to use, and it's my favorite AI tool of all time because I don't really use ChatGPT that much because I'm talking about topics where I'm really familiar with, so I actually get better and faster results by just writing the blog posts by myself. But there is one AI tool that I have used for the entire 3.5 years as a blogger, and I think it's something that I must introduce you because it's completely free. So this is called Grammarly. And this is a Google Chrome extension that you can activate on your website or on your Chrome browser, and it will work on every website you ever visit. So if you're writing an email, if you're answering to your LinkedIn chats, if you're writing a blog post, whatever, Grammarly is always taking care of your writing. So here you can see an example of a sentence that I wrote in a hurry. So it is full of mistakes, and Grammarly does these kind of red underlinings on top of or on bottom of these mistakes. So I can just click on these and then I can automatically fix all these mistakes. And this is super handy. And what I really love about this is that the free version is actually more than enough. So there is a paid version. I have never even tried that because I've wanted to keep my style, but I have just wanted to make sure that these grammar or punctuation issues are not there, and so that I don't really have to worry about those when I write, because this saves me at least 30 minutes per blog post, because now I can just write off the top of my head very quickly and I'm sure that Grammarly is picking up all my mistakes. So this is super handy. This is something you should definitely try out. And especially if you're writing content off the top of your head, as you should, then this tool is going to save you a lot of time and it's free, so why not give it a shot? So at the end of the day, every single blog post should be like a micro business. It should be like a product that solves a problem or a pain point in a better way than anyone else prior to you. And this makes sense because if you think about Google and other search engines, when they are ranking web pages, all of these pages eat up some memory, and they are not going to rank a web page that basically just repeats what already has been told or what millions of other resources have said in the exact same words or in the exact same way but with different words. So that is not a good strategy. You need to outshine your competitors and you need to put in the extra time and the extra effort to make it even better than what already exists. So when it comes to writing blog posts, whether you used AI or not, here's a great workflow that I use all the time when I'm writing. So first, the blog post starts with the outline. So you're going to either generate or you're going to write the outline That is, you're going to split the blog post into smaller sub-posts, which makes the task much easier for you. Then it's time to write all the content. You can either use ChatGPT to generate it or then write it by yourself. If you don't know what you're talking about, and if you are not familiar with the topic, you need to do some research first. So you need to watch videos, read some newspapers and other papers, and just make sure that you understand the topic yourself before you're sharing it to the others. Then it's time to do the reading experience optimization. So at this stage, you're going to add all these images and visualizations. You're going to add links to useful resources. So for example, you're going to link to your blog posts and other useful external resources. You can add some bulleted lists and some tables, do bolding and do italics if you want to, and all these things that enrich the reading experience and make the blog post more enjoyable. And you also want to make it like scrollable, so if you have a person that's just quickly scrolling through the blog post, it should still look entertaining and it should always give them an idea by a quick look on what's happening in that blog post. So that is the key these days. It's not just the fact that you need to take into account the people that are reading the blog post, but you also need to make sure that the blog post looks nice for somebody, no matter how quickly they are skimming it through. And after this step, check all the facts. So make sure that every single thing that you're saying in the blog post actually makes sense, and back up some facts and claims that you make. So for instance, if you say that an average person reads a blog post only for 20 seconds, you need to link to a study that actually proves it. And then last but not least, do one more proofreading round where you go through the entire blog post with care to make sure everything is right. So all the things that I mentioned in these previous steps should be there. So that is the final chance for you to make sure that the blog post is good, and then it's just time to publish it. Now there are two main ways for monetizing a blog, and the simplest option is by showing ads on your website. So without any technical skills or without any experience in advertisements, you can set up ads on your blog by signing up to an ad network, and they will actually populate your blog post with advertisements. And they're using AI and all these other cool heuristics to show the best advertisements to your visitors. So you don't really need to worry about that stuff. It just takes 15 minutes to sign up. Then it will take a couple of days before all these like application processes go through. But in a week or so, you are going to show ads on your website with just 15 minutes of work. So that is the easiest option. And based on what I have heard and based on what my sites have done in the past, you will typically earn like $1 to $10 per 1,000 visitors to your website. And this is just a rough estimate. In some niches, you do way less than that. And in some very like high value niches or high ticket niches, you might do even more than that $10. But usually you will be in that $1 to $10 range. Now, a bit more advanced strategy to make money from your blog is by doing what's called affiliate marketing. And the idea of affiliate marketing is simple. You apply to these affiliate programs in order to partner with specific types of products. And then you're going to embed these affiliate links to your blog post. Then if somebody visits your blog post, clicks on your affiliate link and makes a purchase, you will earn a commission. And I'm going to show you a concrete example of myself doing this, because this is something you can mess up very easily. So you can't just go ahead and throw these affiliate links to random blog posts on your website. Instead, you need to target people that are close to making a purchase. So for example, a bad blog post topic for affiliate marketing is something like how to tie shoelaces. Somebody who's searching for how to tie shoelaces is probably sitting there and they're looking for this quick guide that will walk them through the process. They're not looking to buy anything. They are just heading outside and they just want to learn how to do it. But then if you have a person that is searching for best tennis rackets for kids, that is somebody who's searching for information online with a credit card in their hand. So they're just a couple of clicks away from making a purchase. And this is the type of audience you want to target with affiliate marketing. And I'm going to show you a concrete example. So this is a blog post that I wrote just the other day. This is 5 best AI presentation makers of 2024. And here you can see that I have listed these products. And at the very first product, we have Dectopus. And this link is an affiliate link. So if now somebody clicks on this link and is impressed by this tool that I'm representing here, or that I'm basically reviewing here, and they make a purchase, then I will earn a commission. And this is as simple as it gets. And if we scroll down further on this list, then we have the next product. This actually shows you how to do affiliate marketing. So you write a blog post where you list these products that are related to some kind of category, and you list them in this order, and then you add links to these listings. So then you kind of encourage people to make a purchase, and then you basically just say that this is the top tool, this is one that I like the most, and this is what I recommend to you. And this is how to do affiliate marketing. And now you're probably wondering, like, how on earth do you find these good affiliate marketing blog post topic ideas? Well, as I stated earlier, you should write these best posts or product reviews where you basically just walk them through or walk your audience through the best products in a particular group or review a specific product. And the best way to do this is by using AI. So you can open up Google in an incognito mode. And then, for example, let's say that your niche is software. You can do something like best AI tools for, and then you can see all of these categories right here. So these are all great blog post topic ideas where you can write this kind of a top 10, top 15 blog post. So for example, you could write like let's say best 15 AI tools for students. And this applies to any niche. So if you have a tennis, let's say, you can type in tennis, best tennis, then you get best tennis shoes, rackets, balls, and whatever. So you get these topics from Google basically by using Google's AI. And of course, you can also use ChatGPT to discover some of these affiliate marketing blog post ideas in your niche. And by the way, joining these affiliate programs is usually very simple. So for instance, I know one tool that I love to promote, and that is called Colossian AI. So it's an AI video maker. Now, the first thing that I did when I heard about this tool was I checked if it has an affiliate program. So I went to Google, I typed in Colossian AI and then affiliate program. And then as you can see, as the first result, we got Colossian's affiliate program. And then I'm just going to click on become affiliate. And then all I really need to do is just fill in this information, tell that I'm not a robot, and then I can sign up. And then I am part of their affiliate program, so I can start promoting their tool on my blog post. So this is actually how simple it is to join to these affiliate programs. And that is not the hard part. The hardest part is to actually write these good blog posts that actually review these tools or products or whatever it is that you're promoting. And then that those will actually rank on Google and get traffic and get people to make purchases. So that is the hard part. But you can also do this with the help of ChatGPT. So for instance, you can, if you are reviewing products, you can ask ChatGPT to write this kind of a skeleton for your blog post, and then you can try out those products and just add your images to like make the blog post stand out. And that's the name of the game. And yes, there are other strategies you can use to make money online with blog as well. So it's not just ads or affiliate marketing. And you could also like do consulting. So because you have established yourself as a credible authority in your space, people actually trust you and you can start offering services related to that niche. Then you might also want to launch your own info product, such as a course or an ebook. But that also requires a huge audience and a trusting and loyal community to pull off. So you need hundreds of thousands of monthly views, and you need to create this kind of a sales funnel. You need to verify that there is demand for a product like that. So that is something that will take years to build. So it's not something you should do right now. But the ads and affiliate marketing those are the two great strategies that most people monetize their blogs for the first time. And those are really good strategies. Now, if you happen to watch all these other tutorials on how to start an AI website or how to write blog posts with AI, you will get an impression that you can start earning hundreds of dollars every day right off the bat, right after launching your website. But that is simply not how it works. These people that claim that this is how it works would never ever share this information for a couple of bucks on a YouTube video if it was actually the case. They would start millions of websites like that automatically, and they would become billionaires overnight. So that is not the name of the game. It always requires you some hard work and dedication. So that's why I always say that you should be the owner of your content and you should provide useful and unique and valuable content, because if you just produce content with AI, you're just like the millions of others out there, and there is absolutely no way for Google to pick your blog posts and rank them on top of Google search results if your blog post content is exactly the same as all these other competing blog posts. So blogging is like a real business, a website business where you need to provide the best solution to the audience if you want it to rank high and if you want to get credits for it. And that is just the name of the game. And this is something you cannot automate with ChatGPT or other AI tools. So you need to experiment, you need to experience, you need to create these visualizations and take these images and share your knowledge in a unique and original way that nobody else has been able to put together. So you need to spend more time on each blog post than anyone prior to you, because otherwise there is no way for you to stand out. Now that being said, I usually say that it takes at least a year or two before you start seeing any significant results to your blog. So firstly, it takes about 2 to 3 months for Google to even find your website. So even if you wrote every single day and published a blog post every day, it will still take a couple of months before you see your first visitors. And then it will take a really long time before Google trusts your website. So if you think about it, you need to build trust in the eyes of Google, and this happens by writing a ton of content. Usually this means hundreds of blog posts. And if you write one blog post every single day, you have written 365 blog posts after 1 year has passed. And usually that's the point when Google starts to push traffic to your website. And this is also the point when you can start making some passive income from your website. You can start seeing nice affiliate income. You can see income from advertisements. And then you also might have an audience where you can promote all these other products. So you can create an info product and whatnot. And now I would like to give you some additional resources that are worth checking out. So first and foremost, if you're new to affiliate marketing, make sure to watch this video that I'm recommending here right now, because there I teach you exactly how to do affiliate marketing. It's a free 45-minute course. And then also make sure to check out the free masterclass by clicking the link below. I'm teaching everything that I showed you in this video in way more detail on that course, so make sure to check that out.